Hi again. Sorry for the delay with part three. I had some more shenanigans happen on my end, but we have to start this video off by going over some things that I had missed in the last video in Liurnia Lake. So to start, we're going to go to the Artist Shack, just above Jarberg, and we are coming here so that I can recap two of the death root that I collected last time in the video before, where the footage got corrupted and all that good stuff. So from the artist shack, you're going south to this little lake right here. There's some water right south of this massive tower. There's a death root location right here from a tibia mariner. Then we're going to return to this catacombs that we had got the black knife print from because there is a death root in here as well behind this boss door. And if my last footage hadn't gotten corrupted, I wouldn't be recapping any of this. But it did. So just gonna run through this once more. Now, after taking the guillotine up, there's a hole on the side. You drop down the hole, pull that lever, pull this lever, run back out, climb up this ladder, go down through the guillotine room once again, into the boss room. The boss, from what I remember, is quite easy. And the death root is in this room. So next up is to go talk to Vari, the white mask, the guy you meet, the first NPC I think you actually meet. Um, yeah, he's the first NPC you meet. Um, Upon making your character, once you climb out of the cave that you get thrown into after your battle with the grafted scion, and his quest is going to have you do some invasion. So if you don't have the internet, if you don't have the ability to sign in for multiplayer, you cannot progress this quest line as far as I'm aware. So sorry about that, but FromSoft has kind of overlooked people who don't have the ability to play online. So, but we're going to be using these items that he gave us. And I'm appearing offline right now because a bunch of people are trolleys are trolling and putting the soap signs underneath sites of grace so you can't rest. So you'll see me go on and offline a couple of times because yeah, it's just an obnoxious thing that people are doing. So I'm going to be using these fingers to invade people. I'm cutting all that out because I PvP is not my strong point. So after we do three invasions and talk to him again, he will give us a flag that we need to go cover in Maiden's blood. And you're going to do this by returning to the four belfries and taking this portal that we took to fight the grafted scion once more. So we're going to come back to this location, and there is a dead girl 5 feet from where we spawned in at level one. And we're gonna go cover this flag in her blood so that we can get an item that we're not gonna be using on this run through because I don't need to go back to Mog's palace anymore. It doesn't serve any purpose for any side quests. It's just a secret area for some extra runes and items and stuff like that around there, but it's not side quest related. Actually, I don't know if that's true, but we're not going to be using it right now. So after fast traveling out of the area, we're going to go return to Vari once again, give him the flag covered in blood, and he will give us two items. One, you'll get an item that allows you to invade people whenever you want. You don't have to, it's infinite use. And secondly, he's going to give us a talisman that allows us to go to Mog's palace early. If realistically, you have no need to do this because you're not going to be able to kill anything in the area at this point. It's very late game. But he's just gonna have an intimate moment with my hand, sever my finger, and now we're gonna get two items. I'm only gonna get one because I already have the first item.
Lanya. No, Lanya. It's me, Dialos. Answer me, would you?
Hello, friend. The whereabout. They laid the tail eye, Dial. The tail eye. The tail eye. They're accusing. Can you believe? Can scarcely. You might be so. Then they only. It's on Mount. That's where they hide. Just you wait. You'll rule. The tale of. That's where they. Just you wait. The tale of.
So apologies for that previous clip. I know it was loud as fuck. What we needed to do there was go to Liurnia Lake, and just north of where we talked to Patches, you'll find Dalios standing over his dead servant. You talk to him there so that he leaves the area and returns to the Round Table Hold. Talk to him once more there, and that'll send him out of that location. So after that, we want to return to the First Church of Marika, and we're gonna head south because we need to go and meet with Blythe. And to do that, we're gonna take the Cyphra Riverwell, and we're gonna go head down into this area and meet with the good old Wolf Boy, so that we can get the prompt to then go and talk to Celavis. Now he's gonna tell us that we need to go get some information from Celavis, who is just southeast of Ronnie's Rise, which is at the Three Sisters. So we're gonna fast travel back over there and go and talk to this man, and he is going to send us to go meet with Selin. He will also request that we give a potion to Nefeli. Now, I'm not giving the potion to Nefeli on this run. I'm not giving it to Dung Eater. Um, if that's something that you want to do to get the puppets, that's going to take you a couple of runs to get all the puppets. Um, and in my mind, they're not really worth it because the puppets really aren't that good. But if you want every item in the game, like I said, you're gonna have to put some time into that because you have to beat the game twice over just to get access to all the puppets that he sells you. So now, after talking to Selen, we have to return to Blyde down here and let him know um, the information that Selen just told us about how to access Nokron, the Eternal City. She tells us that Radon has done something, sealed it up, so we have to go and deal with Radon. So I'm going to now spawn over here in Limgrave, right next to this bridge in the north. I'm going to head east. This is the location that we met Alexander at the first time. Sorry, I'm not telling you the locations that I'm going to, but there's a lot of really weird names, and I have trouble remembering all of them. But just you could have just paused the video there, and you could have seen where I went to, or yeah. So we just ran through Summoner Water Village. We're going to continue up into Caelid's. And we are making our way towards Redbane Castle. So after we grab the Site of Grace, we're going to use this portal. It'll take us inside of Redbane Castle, where we will meet a couple of unique NPCs. Now you can grab this Site of Grace if you want to as well. It'll make furthering another quest line later on a little bit more easy. Talk to this woman right here. She'll give you an emote. And talk to Blyde. Talk to Alexander. Then we're going to go up these stairs and talk to this guy right here who will start the event. There's a funny little cutscene with Radon on a very tiny pony that I love watching, but we skipped this time. Now, after General Rodon is dead, we can talk to Alexander as well as Blyde once more. Blyde will tell you that he'll meet you in Nokron, the Eternal City. However, Homie never shows up. Um, if you go and talk to EG, if you're interested in this little bit of lore, afterwards, he's located that site of grace just south of the fort that you had to run through in order to gain access to these three sisters. He tells you that Blyde had to go to do something else that he never specifies what or where Blyde goes. All we know is that we don't see Blyde again until pretty much the end of Ronnie's quest line. But yeah, so we're gonna return to the artist shack, and we're gonna go because we just killed Radon and talked to Alexander. He now moves right above Jarberg, so I'm gonna come over here and talk to him now. Last time I did this guide, I never showed anyone where to get the item that you need to get him out of this hole, but this time I remembered to do that. So here he is. He's in a hole. Yep, pretty standard. And the thing you need to get him out of this hole is called an oil pot. And to get the oil pot, you need a Nomadic Cookbook 17. So to get the Nomadic Cookbook 17, you're going to return to Sephoria River. I don't know how to pronounce this. And you're going to head, what is this? East, yeah, east from the that site of grace to where you see this little wooden scaffolding with some centaurs standing around nearby, and a bunch of these electric things, electric balls of death that hit like freight trains. And you kill these centaurs. This one up here kind of stomps on me a little bit when I'm trying to get up the ladder. He's cheating. Jump across, go over this bridge, hug the right side. Don't hug the left; you might fall off. You're gonna drop down into here, and there's a merchant that will sell you the Nomadic Cookbook 17, which is the one that you need to make the pot. So now returning to the artist shack, and I know I have a bunch of different like armor changes throughout this, but I was all over the place. My ADAD was on full blast when I was recording this, and I was all over the place. So um, returning to Alexander, we're going to make the oil pot. Well, you'll make the oil pot. It takes a mushroom. I probably don't need to, but I do anyways. Nice. And we're going to hit him, talk to him. He'll tell us that he needs to be oiled up. We're going to throw the pot on him, get the boy nice and lubed, and now we're going to hit him, get him out of the hole, talk to him, and then I go back down into Jarberg to talk to Jarbairn. But he doesn't at this point have anything new to say to us until we progress Dalios' quest line further. Apparently, I'm just going to stand still for a couple seconds, okay? Is this when I went and got my chocolate chip cookies and I forgot to cut this out? Oh boy. So, homie, yeah, didn't have anything new to say to us. So now we are going to Nokron, the Eternal City. Did I fucked it up a little bit? Oh yeah, yeah, jump cuts, right, right. So we're going to Limgrave back to Fort Height, where we did that little side thing for Kenneth. And now we're gonna run down there. Probably should trim that the extra. This video was done so out of order. It's not even funny. I was not there mentally this day at all. But I can edit the footage together to make it make some sense as to what I did. So there's that. So yeah, running down here, it's a little parkour. I hate parkour. I always die to fall damage. But we're gonna run across these rooftops. Fortunately, I don't think I die here. Yeah, no. Jump through this window. Now, there's a little trick I like to do when I'm fighting mimics, which is to take my weapon off, because the mimic will use the same weapon and armor that you have. Normally, I strip butt ass naked and I take off my weapon, but I'm only wearing leather pants right now, so I didn't see the point in taking off my armor. But it makes it way easier. And I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's not the spirit of a Souls game to make things super easy," but like I think it is. I think the challenge is what you make of it. So I have no qualms using anything I can to make these fights easier for myself, including taking off all my armor and weapons. So I'm gonna walk up. The mimic is going to touch us, copy our form. Then I'm gonna re-equip my weapon. Beat the mimic. Touch the site of grace. And we're gonna go over the bridge in order to get the item that we need to progress Ronnie's quest line, but we're not going to do that just yet. We're not going to actually give it to her because if you were inclined to get a puppet from Celavis, I do want to at least show how to go about doing that. Um, so I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to hold on to this weapon that we're going to get here for Ronnie, and we're going to go back and we're going to touch on Celavis's quest. Now you can do Celavis's quest a couple of different ways. You can give it to Gideon, the All-Knowing, and the Round Table Hold, which is what I'm going to do here in a little bit. You can give it to Nefeli. I do not recommend giving it to Nefeli because Nefeli just had her quest line updated, and you will miss out on seeing how that ends. Or you can give it to Dung Eater, which is something I recommend because Dung Eater's puppet's actually kind of good. Not as good as some of the other ones, but still kind of good. But giving it to Dung Eater requires you to go pretty deep into his quest line as well. So if that's something you're not interested in doing, I think a safe bet is just to give it to Gideon because honestly, the chances of you using these puppets are pretty slim. When you have things like the Mimic Tier Ash, you have Rot Knight Linley, you have Black Knight Teach, you have some very good options for summons that these puppets just don't live up to. So we get this weapon. I'm gonna come over here, take a stomp from this big guy, use this portal out before he can kill me. Rest at the site of grace to drop aggro because for some reason FromSoft says that you can't look at a map while something is looking at you. And now, do I go to Ronnie's Rise? No, I don't. I go to the Round Table Hold to give the potion to Gideon. Right? Don't I do that? No, right. Yep, no. Because we went to Nokron City, we could now get the trigger for. Is it Nokron or is it Radon? It might be Radon. When Radon dies, I think you can come back here and talk to Fia and get the dagger that you give to D. So I talk to her. She gives me the dagger. I reload the area so that I don't have to sit there and watch her hug me. We give the dagger to D again. Again, we give the dagger to D, and again we reload the area. And now D will be dead in this room that was locked, and Fia will be standing over him. We get his armor set. Now we're going back to Nokron, the Eternal City, so that we can go and find D's twin brother and give him the armor set that we just picked off of D's dead body. And Mimic is still low key kind of good against bosses that are not bleed immune. But if you're fighting something that's bleed immune, uh, probably not the play to use the Mimic. There are probably better options. But I just swap back to the Mimic for some reason to fight a boss that's bleed immune. But I'm not doing it with bleed weapons. I think maybe the play here was actually to use the summon um, of the dude with no head. I can't remember what his name is, headless something. Because he blinks around and he's never in one spot for very long, but he does also throw spears. So he can hold one of these guys' attention for a while without actually taking a lot of damage, which is nice. Yeah, if I had used the headless summon, I probably would have had help in this fight still at this point, rather than going at it solo. So now that that thing's dead, the next part is to go grab this site of grace and then be a weirdo and take off all your armor. It's very important to the quest that you stop and take off everything that you were wearing prior to killing this boss. Now we're gonna go over here and touch this coffin, which will send us to the deep root depths. And grab the site of grace here in case you die to fall damage, which I totally didn't cut out me dying to fall damage a bunch of times here. And if anyone says otherwise, they're lying. Yeah. Yep. NPCs that use blood damage or the use bleed. Use bleed are always fucking the bane of my existence. Right up there next to bears and dogs and fall damage. NPCs that use bleed. Eh, I'll tell you what. So we are actually unable to continue with Fia's questline until we pretty much run through the entirety of Ronnie's questline, which think think I do in the next video. I don't think I touch on that in this one. But we will be back here in the next video to finish off with her. And then once again, I fast travel out of being hugged. Now I'm gonna do something that I have never done before in the 8+ times I've beaten the game. I'm gonna go get the other half of the Dectus medallion found in this fort over here behind this big dead or not dead, the big white sleeping dragon that gives you like 100,000 souls on journey one. Just for the sake of changing things up a bit. However, I instantly regret it because going the long way and not using the Grand Lift of Dectus is 100% the play. It just makes it so much easier to go and get stuff done that you need to later on. So yeah, a bit of instant regret upon doing this because I have to go back and I have to go up the back end and go around the Grand Lift of the Dectus lift or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I have to go back and run the alternate route anyways because of a side quest within Volcano Manor. And now this is quite the five-headed what I'm doing right here right now. I am coming back to talk to this guy prior to being sent here to do it later on because this cuts out a bunch of back and forth. If you talk to him right now um, before you get too deep into Sellen's quest line, he leaves this area and you don't have to come back and talk to him here. You don't have to go and talk to him in his second location. It just wraps this up quite beautifully. I'm still gonna do it and show you guys how you do it without doing this, but generally speaking, after you get Sellen's glintstone from her actual body, you don't have to go and do any of the runaround to talk to that guy and get him to go to his other locations. You can just go straight to the end. And I think I actually forgot that I had done this because I didn't run around and show you guys the alternate locations or the I guess not alternate but the the actual progression of where these guys appear at intentionally. I went there thinking that I hadn't done this, and then I remembered once I had run into all the other locations, and I'm like sitting here like, oh, where is this guy at? I was like, oh yeah, no, I broke the quest line and made him spawn elsewhere. But yeah, no. So go talk to that guy if you want to save yourself like 25 minutes of running around for nothing because you don't get any items out of it. And now I'm just gonna sit around here and look at the map because I'm super confused as to where I am. Because like I said, I've never taken this path. The only reason I did it is because someone commented on why I don't take the Grand Lift of Dectus, saying that it was faster. But so I did it this round, and yeah, like I said earlier, I just regretted making the decision entirely. I should have just stuck with my guns and went through the back way. So now, because we took the Grand Lift of Dectus, Raya is not in the location that I'm familiar with where Raya would be. So we have to go back to the Grand Lift of Dectus, go take it back up to the top, and then she will be up here now rather than in front of that ruin where I'm familiar with her being. I'm just gonna be looking around for her because I'm not sure where she is. And because I bumped into her, she's gonna fourth wall me and talk about her invincibility barrier. Talk to her, take her hand. She's gonna send us to the Volcano Manor. We're not gonna do much of the Volcano Manor in this video. I'm gonna handle majority of the Volcano Manor stuff as well as Lindell in part 4. But I do believe we take care of one of the assassination of targets in this video, I think. So reloading the area, come over here, talk to Patches. Now I'm returning to the round table hold, and I let Sorcerer Rogier die without much conversation with him because his quest line doesn't actually give you anything. It's just like 25 more minutes of walking around and talking to people for the sake of hearing additional dialogue. But I already went over all of that in the other video, so this is like a guide on how to get through everything as fast as possible, I think. So after talking to the monk, brother Cornix, or whatever his name is, in the Round Table Hold, that triggers him to leave. So next time we go back there, he won't be there anymore. And then we're returning to the Erd Tree Gazing Hill because there's another death route that we can get right on top of this hilltop. Right on top of this hilltop. Yep. We're gonna kill the Tibia Mariner. And then I believe I go on like an hour-long side quest to go and find new armor right after this. So yeah, I'm gonna cut that out. Grab this side of grace, and now I'm back, and I'm looking fly. I got new armor. Oh yeah. Yeah. So after going to the Seathwater Terminus, we are going to head down this gully to where we're going to meet with Alexander once again. He's right behind a magma worm, and then further, let's see, south from Alexander, we will find Sorcerer Azur, which will prompt Selen to actually begin her quest line. So we're just gonna run through and kill a magma worm, talk to Alexander, go find the sorcerer guy, which we will then go and talk to Selen. And yeah, I died to this thing. Quite a lot. He hits really hard on Journey 8. I somehow unequipped my weapon there, I think. Yeah, Alexander is right back here in this lava. Now, when you talk to him, I suggest you go get out of lava because if you're trying to listen to what he's going to say to you, you're probably going to die in the process. So, grabbing Comet Zer, then we're going to go back and talk to. Oh, no, we're going to go do the first assassination quest for the Dark Brotherhood, aka the Volcano Manor. So, yeah, we're going to that side of Grays. We're going to run north, just underneath this bridge. Smack that guy around real quick. Now, do I go talk to Selen? Now I go talk to Selen. Okay. Now she's gonna ask us to go find another sorcerer named Lestat. Lusat. I'm gonna call him Lestat. Sounds better. So to do that, we need to go into. Damn, I don't remember what this place is called. We're going back into Caelid's, and we're gonna go into a magical little town where there's a very special man who wants nothing but the best for his daughter. Um, by the name of Gowry. I think that's his name at least. Honestly, I can't be fucked to remember how to pronounce all these weird names in this game. But yeah, there's a dude down here. We're gonna talk to him. He's gonna request that we help out his daughter Millicent. We're gonna do that, and in the process of helping out Millicent, we're also going to progress Selen's questline as well. So two birds, one stone type thing. So after talking to him, we're gonna go around the city, this little town, not really a city, because we're gonna go kill a boss and get a magical needle, which makes really the Mikola's needle being here in the swamp really made no sense to me, but or why this random guy in the middle of the swamp would hold it. But anyways, Very important that you run in here willy nilly, guns blazing, and get your shit leaked within 4 seconds. If you don't do this, you're gonna fail the quest. So now, after killing the boss and getting the needle, we had to go talk to the dude in the shack once again. We're gonna use this site of grace to fast travel somewhere nearby. I'm gonna go give it to him, and after we give it to him, we're gonna log out and log back in because that reloads the area and the game and progresses time. So do that, talk to him again, and he will give us the finished needle, and then we have to go do a little puzzle in the town in order to get rid of a barrier. So the puzzle that we have to do is to light these three torches on top of these three buildings. So you're just gonna do that, and then go up, and now we can talk to Millicent as well as go and find Lysat for selling. So now, after giving her the needle, you will need to reload the area to make her stand up. She will not do this unless time has passed. So talk to her again. Keep talking to her until she says that she needs to go on a journey, and she will relocate south of here at that shack where we met the creepy old dude who wanted to help her, quote unquote, quote unquote, help her. Yep. He totally didn't have any ulterior motives um, when he asked us to save her. Now, be careful. This guy does kind of slap. Fortunately, he also gets slapped super easily. So just avoid those magic spells he's throwing at you because they will chunk you down real quick. So grab that spell, and then you have to leave this area. I'm just gonna use this item to get out of here because I don't care about my runes. Now we're going back to the swamp so we can go to the shack and talk to Millicent once more so that she actually leaves the area. And then it's back to Waypoint Ruins to talk to Selen. Now, Selen requests that we go find her actual body, and I don't have a fast travel point over there because I hadn't been there on this run yet. So going to the Weeping Peninsula, just north of the fort, where we did Edgar and Arena's quest line, we're going to run northwest along this road to get down to the ruins where her actual body is being kept, where she will give us a glintstone orb, which I guess is like her essence or something. I don't know. I think a bunch of the characters in Elden Ring are robots or puppets, um, because that's it's we're putting this glintstone orb that she gives us, which is her soul or whatever, into a puppet so that she can live on. It's very weird to me. Someone should probably do an in-depth guide on or in-depth dive into what's going on here in Elden Ring because it just doesn't make any sense to me that that she's a puppet and yeah, I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, if you this church that we're running past, if you go up there and get that waypoint, I suggest doing that because I don't and I have to run all the way back out here later. So down in here, we find her body. We pull something out of her chest, and we're gonna go put this into a puppet found at Ronnie's Rise that belongs to Celadus. And now for the part where I talked about earlier where we can skip a bunch of dialogue. Because we already went and talked to this guy, he's no longer here when I return. And he's not going to be in the location that he's supposed to go to afterwards either, because we already talked to him. He just bypasses all of this and he goes straight to the end. So you don't have to come here, you don't have to do this, but if you want to, you can. If you choose not to skip, use this skip, and you didn't come talk to him when I came here the first time, so he would normally there's not a boss here. Assuming you haven't talked to him, the boss appears after you talk to him. So he would be sitting here in this chair. He's not there. Um, so but now he after talking to him here, he would leave this area and he'd go back to where we found her actual body, Selen's actual body, down in that ruined little dungeon. And he would be right here in front of her corpse, where we would talk to him again. Now you go to the Raya Academy main library, Grand Library, and you have a choice. You can either choose to help her, help Selen, or fight Selen. I will stick to this. Help her. Do not fight her. You get nothing out of you really get nothing from killing her. However, I kill her this time because I've saved her like 5 times in a row already, and I kind of just wanted to see how her fight would play out if I fought her. But if this is your first time, don't do this. Just help her. You get way more out of it. And if you do choose to help her because you can't see the footage, after this fight, reload the area, talk to her, reload the area again. She will be transformed into a monster that can somewhat recognize you, and you can still use that monster, this fucking massive blob of a human being that she becomes, to learn spells, give her scrolls. She still acts as the NPC that we were using when she was in the Waypoint Ruins. So let's see, where do we go now? I think I go back to the round table hold. Yeah, and here I give Gideon the potion because I'm not turning Nefeli or Dung Eater into a puppet this time through. Now I'm gonna reload the area, and I'm just gonna go down here and check to make sure Nefeli's still in the still down here. She is, by the way, because the trigger for her to leave this area to continue her quest line is to kill Morgott and Lindell. So now back at Ronnie's Rise, we're gonna go and tell Celavis that we gave the potion to Nefeli, and he believes us. No questions asked, by the way. He just, no, it didn't work for some reason. Weird. But yeah. And that's everything for part three. Part four, we're going to finish up with Ronnie's quest line, go into Lindell, do a bunch of stuff there. So, yep. Take care, guys, and hopefully you guys will stick around and see tomorrow's video. So, bye bye.